Hey guys, welcome to Adobe Illustrator Wednesday night class. This is a video tutorial, one of a couple, just to keep the video short, an introduction to the interface and vector graphics. So when you first launch Illustrator, you get this, what is called the home screen. And the home screen has a couple of different safe presets. You got the letter page, postcards, and all these other different kinds that you can use for potential new projects. The open button over here on the far left, you can open an existing project, but we are going to create a new document, and then the new document dialog box shows up. Still have all these different kinds of presets up on the top. We're going to click on the print. And here under the untitled, I'm going to just give it a name. I'm going to call it test. Just because I gave it a name does not necessarily mean that it's saving my document. And down here on the where it says points, we want to change that to be inches. Default is always 8.5 by 11. Here you can also adjust the orientation of your document. We're going to leave it as portrait. This is portrait, this is landscape. And you can even control the number of artboards from the very beginning of your document. We're going to leave it as 1, but if I want it to be 2 or 3 pages, I would select that here. I'm going to leave it as 1. Over here, it shows the bleed amount. Right now, I'm going to leave it at 0. Industry standard is 1/8 of an inch bleed, which is 0.125. When you click on the options, the advanced option settings, it shows you the available color modes. There are only 2 color modes in Illustrator. You have RGB color or CMYK color. The reason why when you select RGB, you have this little question mark is because we have the print tab. And in print tab, you have to use the CMYK color settings. We're not going to be doing any kind of web-based graphics in this course, so you will always be in the CMYK color mode. Resolution 300 dpi it's pretty good for now. You can even select it for 150 dpi. Again, it all depends on the type of work that you're going to be doing in this program. Screen resolution 72 dpi, that has to do with web-based type graphics as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit the create button, and my new document is going to appear. If you get this message, just close out of it. So here we have the interface. Now by default, if you launch Illustrator for the first time, it's going to show you the Essentials tab. Now the Essentials tab is just the very basics, just to get started. Over here on the far left side, you have your toolbar. Always comes as a single column. I've been using Illustrator since version 5. I am accustomed, if I click on these 2 double arrows here, I am accustomed to have my toolbar in 2 columns or just have it doubled up like this. So if you create any multiple documents, it shows up over here in multiple tabs, and you can click in and out per page. It will always show up here in tabs. You can customize the look and feel of this of your Illustrator by going into the Illustrator name up on the top menu bar, selecting preferences, and you can select the interface one, which is user interface. You can change the color to be a lighter color background if you like. You can choose medium gray. I personally like the medium dark gray color, and I'll just hit OK to apply or just cancel because I really didn't change anything. Here in the Essentials tab, as I mentioned, they also, if you click on that, you also have presets for depending on the kind of artwork that you plan on doing. If you want to do just a simple tracings, it automatically changes your palette to accommodate. It changes your toolbar to accommodate those presets. Layout one is a very popular one. I've been messing around with this, but I can actually go back here and hit reset layout, and then it goes back to default settings. I personally like to arrange my palettes and move things around and save my own personal presets. You can just drag them out, get rid of the ones that you don't use by Xing it out, creating new groups of gradients. Like I personally like to have my colors, my gradients, my swatches, and my strokes all under one group setting, and then I add them back to the actual groupings. If I highlight, you get that little blue bar, it's just going to add a secondary group. I like to have my artboards, for example, close to where my layers palette is, but I like to have those personally. I like to have those on the very, very top, like this. But, and then you can just arrange this any way you see fit, however you feel comfortable with once you get accustomed to using these palettes and these swatches. Once you have that organized to the way you like, you can actually save your own presets by going into the tab up on the top, and you can create new workspace and give it a name. In my particular, I just give it my last name. I put it in all caps so I see it. I already have one in existing. That's why it's saying that I can't save it. So I'm going to cancel it, but you can go ahead and hit the OK button on your end. So my personal preference looks like this. I like to have my layers palette along with my libraries and my artboards. I like to work with those. I like my color palettes to be here, properties, gradients, strokes, swatches, all under one. Pathfinder palette, align and transform. I use those often. Characters or the typography, paragraph for aligning your text, and of course my link text box here. Anytime I decide to bring in any resolution dependence, JPEGs, TIFF files, EPSs, and it'll show up here under my links palette so I can control them.